Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program, and you often see and hear me talk about the bubbles, that at the end of the day, they are my favorite style of wine, that I would drink bubbles all day long if I could, and that when it's red or white, I always say sparkling. So we decided to do a little bit of a nerd battle between two very prominent sparkling wines that nobody's ever heard of. These are definitely more under the radar grower champagnes, lesser known, more sought after by the collectors than the general consumer. Nobody's going to grab this off the shelf instead of a Clicquot vintage or a Moet vintage or a Bollinger or a Perrier-Jouet. However, they bring enormous thunder, and the funny part is this one's $40, priced in the same as the non-vintage versions of some of those bigger name champagnes that I just referred to. So what we're going to do head-to-head is the Montier, non-vintage, Brut, 92 points, Allen Meadows, $40 US. This is 100% Pinot Meunier. So, a very interesting wine, established in 1750. Allen Meadows, the Berghound, is very, very conservative critic. 92 points, big score for him. So I'm excited about that. And then this, which is one of the most sought after collector bubbles, the Auger Blanc de Blanc Brut, which is 100% Chardonnay. 92 points, Antonio Goloni, 92 points, Allen Meadows, 100% Chardonnay, $50 US. So I'm excited about that. So let's start with the Moutardier. Let's give it a snippy snip. And that classic nutty kind of component coming through on the nose, which I like so much. A little bit of a, green apple. Pretty aromatically challenged, though. Not as much going on besides that. Let's go to the Don. And this has a lot more going on in the nose right off the bat. Little kind of peanut shells coming through. Little hint of apricot. Tad of a smokiness. Nice nose. I mean, my palate's getting watery. I love the bubs. All right, so let's start with the Moutardier. Let's give it a whirl. So not Chardonnay and not Pinot Noir. This is Meunier. So you get a little bit more of an earthy kind of component. Very, very fresh white flowers coming through. White, almost a hint of white pepper, believe it or not, on the back end of the palate. Obviously yeasty, of course, clean and refreshing. Almost an Asian pear component on the mid palate that I like quite a bit. Well made, quite tight, very, very tight sparkling wine. High acid on the mid palate, and would go extremely well with food. This is a big debate that I'd like to start the conversation on. If you Vaniacs out there can push the envelope for me on this, I'd like more people talking about this. I think that I really do think that champagne is not being talked about as a food wine enough, and I think about having this wine with a lobster roll or clams or a frisee salad with egg and bacon, or just even just strips of bacon, mushrooms by itself. Just really, really flexible charcuterie, meats, sausages. I just think sparkling wine has a place on the dinner table, not on the celebratory, l'chaim kind of thing going on. So highly recommend looking at it as a food wine more often. This has the acid structure that would go so well with shellfish, other, varieties of seafood, sushi, and should not be overlooked. Really nice, complex stuff. Didn't crush me, but definitely excited me. Let's give it a whirl here. this is much better. Wow. So this is spectacular. This Jose Don't is so clean, so focused, so creamy, so subtle. It's almost like whipped cream. I feel like I'm drinking a cloud that's got like white tea, oolong kind of component to it. Beautiful, beautiful apricot, dried apricot flavor on the beginning of the mid palate. Finishes extremely smooth. Gorgeous, gorgeous apple, baked apple with a little hint of cinnamon flavors on the back end. Clearly polished, gorgeous sparkling wine. Little hint of chalkiness. This is wonderful. An absolutely awesome way to go into the weekend. If you've got any opportunity, I want you to really get this name in your mind. Jose Don't, non-vintage, Blanc de Blanc. If you're going out this weekend, write this name down, text it to yourself, get a glass at a restaurant, order a bottle, go out and find it retail. This is what most people think they're getting when they buy the Cristals and the Krugs and the Dom P's of the world. Those are fine and elegant luxury cuvées. But to me, this outshines many. This is a spectacular effort. I'm going to score this wine 94 plus points. I think it's a phenomenal bottle of champagne. And for 50 bones, this is what I think about when I think about, this is why I do this show. This is why I'm into this category and this lifestyle. When you taste a product like this that is made so well, as a matter of fact, I'm pussyfooting it. I'm going 95 plus points on this wine. This is an expensive but exceptional bottle of sparkling wine. I gotta be honest, $50 is expensive. I'm not unaware, but it's not the worst thing I've ever heard of. You know, you've spent it elsewhere. A video game costs more. So this is spectacular, well made. Find 3 or 4 friends that deserve it. You've got a celebratory situation, an anniversary, a birthday, anything of that nature. I highly, highly recommend going out and doing something with this bottle. This is spectacular and one of the best champagnes we've ever had on the show. What do you think about that, Mon?
I think it's one of the highest ratings ever game.
It's a high rating. The Moutardier, I'm going to score 90 points. I think it's very good. Both did an unbelievable job, but it's completely outclassed. And listen, only a $10 difference, and you can see this is just what's so amazing. But it is well made, and I do like it. It's smoky and earthy. You really do get this amazing, terroir, which is not the right term, but I use it as slang for like the dirty, barnyardy kind of thing. Very much a red lover's champagne, so keep that in mind. Might even be more up your alley. Question of the day: what's the best sparkling wine you've ever had? And number 2, this weekend, tell me something. What are you eating? Where are you going? Or what are you drinking? One of the 2. One of the 3. You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine.